Well, the moment the Fed starts cutting interest rates, all hell breaks loose. Now I've got your slides to show you this. But that's what happens. Now, they've been very, very slow, so it really hasn't happened too much, but now they're going to start cutting in earnest, and everything's going to fall apart. And things have been falling apart. It's only been falling apart in those people that really can't afford anything. They're the ones that are just getting by. They're the ones that are maxed out, that their credit cards are being cut off, and now they're doing the buy now, pay later. They're the ones that have their bank accounts that have been depleted, and now they're going into their IRAs and 401ks. We can see that. They're not the same people that own Tesla and Nvidia and Bitcoin and crypto and gold. Anyone that's been in like the ETFs for the S&P has done extremely well. So really there's two types of people going on. So it's a bifurcated marketplace. We've been talking about that for a long, long time, in the fact that we've got the haves against the have-nots. And it's the ones that just got into it. It's the first timers, it's the young kids. It's the ones just starting out, ones that never had a house before, had one built, and they're buying it from the builder. Builder's just trying to get out of their lots, you know. They just need to get out of that dirt. And it's the last one ins that are going to get it. But the last one in this time goes all the way back to 2020, maybe 2021. Because let me look at the data. I have my Arizona t-shirt on, so you can see that we're going to talk about my home market here, because my home market, obviously, I know extremely well. And it's, it's Florida, Texas, and Arizona are the ones that where everybody was going to. Right now, we've got a big exodus coming out of California because of all the problems in California. Do you know that California is losing one taxpayer every 2 minutes? And we're getting them. We picked up $2 billion in tax last year from new residents coming from California. But that's a different video. We've done that video before. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and a like. And if you want to see that, just go take a look at them. They're all archived, and you're welcome to take a look at them. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between those that have and those that don't have. We're going to talk about Scottsdale, where I live. And we're going to talk about where we invest, and we invest in along the 303 here in Phoenix, Arizona. That's the new truck route. Wall Street Journal did a documentary on the 303 in Phoenix. It's only about 5.5 minutes long. It's not very long at all. Talking about the explosive growth. And of course, that 303 goes right up to where the new chip plants are at, and it's just exploding out there, but yet prices are dropping. Business in manufacturing is exploding, prices are dropping. So you have to ask yourself, why is this a bifurcated marketplace? But these are the ones that have bought properties, got in. You know, when you get an FHA, you put 3.5% down. You refinance back 2% to pay for the mortgage insurance premium from FHA. And they let them go up to, they violate all the rules. You know, we've talked about that. The Biden administration violated all of their rules. And FHA now is going to become the new subprime, because 43% of what your gross payment, that's the debt to income. And they violated, went all the way up to 50, 51. Now, 43%, that means that 43% of everything you make pre-tax goes towards your house payment. 3%. You know, go conventional, they want you to go 25 or 30. FHA lets you go to 43%, but not the Biden administration. They let you go to 51, 52, 53%. Imagine paying 52, 53%. Well, these people are guaranteed to struggle. And so it's just fine if everything's going up and the economy is just great. But life doesn't work that way. We have bumps and we have ups and downs, and that's what's going on. So let me go to my first slide here. Let me switch over so that you can see this. And let's just talk about, let me open this up even a little more so you can see that. And maybe you can see that. Let's see. Is that a little better? Yeah. So I just put this in because historically, you can just look at this. This is looking back the recessions for the last like 10 or 20 or 30. Oh, no. This is like going back 50 or 60 years. You can see that the moment the Federal Reserve got involved and started reducing the Fed rate, all hell breaks loose. Just what happens. Now, they've been very, very careful. Now, you can remember in 2016 when they started cutting interest rates, they had to give it back because the market wouldn't accept that. And this time they've done it very, very slowly. But now they're going to start doing this in earnest. And you can see, so I put this in here just for you to start getting prepared. I think you have very, very little time before we break something, and you can see this breaking. Look at my other slot, my other videos, and you can see that. Now, here's where I'm getting the pushback: is that a lot of my friends are very wealthy. They're doing extremely well. They own Nvidia. They own Bitcoin. They own gold. They're into, they're into the stock market, and they've just had tremendous amount of gains. They don't believe me. So I live in Scottsdale. We invest all along the 303. We own a lot of properties in Surprise, Arizona, near the Luke Air Force Base, loaded with retired Air Force people. The whole area, everybody's got their lawns are cut, looks beautiful. You can walk to any school you want. The schools are closed. You can walk to schools and pools. It's just great. It's a up and coming. It's really right in the path of growth. We own properties all along there, all the way down Avondale. So I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you Scottsdale. And there's a huge difference. Now, people in Scottsdale, they pay cash. They don't have an affordability problem, or they put half down because they just want to have some kind of a mortgage payment. They don't need to do that. They can afford almost anything they want. That's not the case for most people. Most people are very concerned as to what their payments are. And I must tell you, we have a portfolio. I can tell you directly, I can tell you that our portfolio, the rate that people can afford to rent, the rental rates have come down because people just can't afford them. And we're down, we used to be around $2,200, $2,300 a month. Now we're down between $1,900 and $2,100, so $200. Now, we try to maximize our rent, of course, but that's all we can get. That's what the market is going to give us. You can want all you want with the market. The Mr. Market is only going to give you so much, and that's it. So we can see that. And these are the people that are struggling, and these are the ones that bought their houses. So these are like the first-time home buyers, the young kids. And they're out in the builder window, and the builders are building houses, from like 1,200 square feet up to 1,900, 2,100 square feet. Once in a while, they got a 23 or 2,400 square feet. But out along that window, they don't have any mega mansions. They're not selling it for $1.5 million, $2 million. So we don't have anything to distort the information that we have. It's not going to distort the statistics. So let me go to my slide here, and let's just talk about my very first slide. Again, this is coming right out of Federal Reserve electronic data. You can see here that the last peak was in Q4 of 2022 at 442.6. Now, it has not nationally dropped terribly. It's down to 410,800. So it's at $32,000 over 4 or 5 years. But we're going to tell you right here, this is Q2 of 2022. This is where it triggered my timing model. And it really was a process here across the country. So not a big move. Again, remember, this is getting the ones from Miami and California, Malibu. All of these are in here. So the median is pulling up the lower end and distorts our numbers. Now, it's the best we can do. So we're going to try and drill down. So look at here. This is where I live in Scottsdale. Beautiful community. So I live in a gated community. It's all fenced, 550 acres. Got a golf course. Got a big clubhouse with tennis courts and a places to eat and a ballroom to it. It's guard gated. We have roving guards. What's not to like? People that come there, they pay cash for these properties. We get people coming from California paying cash, New York paying cash. They're not affected by this at all. House in my neighborhood comes up, it sells. Typically, it sells pretty close to asking, and prices actually have been going up. Not so everywhere else here in Phoenix, Arizona. Let me show you. Now, this is a proxy for just the affordable housing price. This is a proxy for it. So when you start looking at Lennar, they build basically, people that are entry level to above entry level, but they don't build luxury homes. And you can see that they had a phenomenal run. They went up almost 25% from when we call this the accumulation phase, then into explosive phase. But you can see this would be like 2020 right here starts, and it went up 25%. And it peaked right where we said it peaked. And this is Q2 through Q3 of 2022. This is what my timing model showed us. I mean, it went off. So, and it has gone down 25%. It has given up all of its gains that it gained through this explosion. Now, unfortunately, I think the pendulum is going to continue down. It's not going to stop where it just stopped. So right here, they've given up. They've got back to about where they were. It's going to continue down. That's what it did last time, because that doesn't stop where it began. It's not going to stop with 2020 prices. It's going to stop probably around 2016, 2017 prices. Now, I want you to look at this. Now, when we drill down, we're going to drill down just into one suburb of Phoenix called Surprise. This is where you have a lot. This has got a lot of Air Force guys that are retired. A lot of Air Force people living there, but Air Force retired. The developments there are just stunning. I mean, they're just military clean. There's not a blade of grass on it. Kids can walk on the streets, have no problem. And it borders the 303, which is the new expressways. It's done really, really well. Now, it peaked. We saw this peak. This went off on my timing model right here. Look at this. 2022, in June of 2022, it peaked $492,000. And it's been coming down ever since. So I know you get fatigued when we say it's peaked. Not to buy anything, it's peaked. When it peaks, it means it's not going up any higher. And we've been justified on that. We have only two rules in my group: make money and don't lose money. So had we continued buying here, prices would have come down. And right now, and this is a September figure, so I haven't got October or November, and I'm going to assume those are worse. It was at 410, so that's an $82,000 decline. Now, these people only put $25,000 down, if that. $25,000, that's at the peak. They're $82,000 under. And if you bought at FHA, you put 3.5% down, you finance back 2% to pay for the mortgage insurance premium, and you have less than a 2% equity position. You have less than like $10,000 in it, and they're $82,000 underwater. So tell me, how is this not a problem? You go to my next slide. Here you go in Avondale, also same area. It's right up along the 303, and we've been buying there. We have a big portfolio over there. You know, now we're keeping these properties because I think there's going to be a really big rebound. We're going to go through this, and then we're going to come out of this. And we're there for the long run. These rent really well. They cash flow beautifully. They're great properties, and we get a great income off of these properties. So we're just fine with that. So we're income investors. We certainly like to see our properties go up, but as long as the income's there, we're just happy as a clam with these. However, this again peaked. Look at the date, July of 2022. It peaked at 454. It's now worth just a little under 388 for a $66,000 decline. Now, how can we justify that? This is certainly a problem. And these are the people that, if they have any kind of problem, they don't have any cushion. You know, and we're getting a decline in our economy. So all the overtime's being eaten up. All the gigs are being eaten up. I've been telling people, go out and learn to do something that people need. You know, learn to install garbage disposal or microwaves or fix roofs or paint. Do some light carpentry. Learn some things that, you know, AI can't do this. And so that you've got some time with this. You know, that if your job starts to slow down, you're going to have some income coming in. Yeah, but when things start to stall, these people are really at the cutting edge of what's going to go wrong with this thing. So let me just go to my next slide, and we'll take a look at this. I don't want to make this really, really long. Now, here's where we're going to get rich. I'm sorry. You know, most people can't recognize when you're in a speculative bubble. It's just almost impossible. Now, this came from Charles Hughes years ago because he recognized this, and I have enhanced it a little bit because we're going to have some buy points. You can see this on this. We're going to have buy points, and we've got 4 identified. Now, we don't necessarily need to get right down to the bottom before we buy. What I want to do is remove most of the risk. We're in risk management, but we also want to recognize we also want to buy some good properties. And this one here is where you have people that have multiple properties. You know, we get investors with 4, 5, 6, 7 properties. They put them all on the market, see which ones are going to sell. And you know what? It's always the good ones that sell. So these are the buy points. We're coming. This first buy point is coming fairly soon. We'd like to take maybe 10% of our capital stack and maybe just allocate it. Just get our feet in the water on something of this. It's not coming yet. It'll have to cash flow, and we'll know when we get there, but we're not there yet. So I think we got a retracement, a total retracement. Now, again, this is a really big risk drop. I'm thinking 40, 50% maybe potential. Now, again, not every community is going to be as affected as others. You know, some are just going to be just fine, but a lot of them are not. And our affordable homes are certainly going to be affected. I think they could get retracement all the way back here to 2016, 2017 prices. And once they come down here, if they're around here, I'm going to want to start buying them. Now, if you need more money, if you need more money to income, you need income to escape your career, this is going to be crisis investing. You are going to have an opportunity to get well. So if you missed the big Bitcoin move up and you didn't buy gold when you should have, if you're not a big stock guy, if you bought bonds, and now bonds are probably not the best place to be because that cycle ended. Dr. Denner and I talked about that. Call me. We have an opportunity for you to catch up. You know, 2 is going to save your purchasing power. 4 is going to make a really nice retirement for yourself. 10 makes you bulletproof. So give me a call if I can help in any way. My very best to you. Bye-bye.